Hey, welcome back to the Crochet Crowd with my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Week number 4. Now week number 4 I was motivated by taking my Afghan to my local stitching group. We can't chat here. The only thing we finish is the dessert tray. So I wanted a stitch that I could just sit there and just do nothing with and just not really think about it. So I decided to do a few rounds of single crochet in the back loop only, and that's what gives it that tracking. It's almost like a record player look as we're continuing our mystery out, or not our mystery but our study of planet Earth. And I was really motivated by that, and with the Bernat pop it looks really truly amazing once it all starts coming together. So we're gonna be experiencing that and then moving on to week number 5. It's not a hard week at all. It's just a matter of putting in your time, and we're now over the halfway point of our stitch along and we're gonna get it done real soon. So welcome to week 4, and we're going to get started right away. This is actually a really easy week, and there's going to be a little bit more work to it because we're going to do a lot of single crochet. Also going to bring back those stitch markers on the corner. I really recommend it for this particular week. This is kind of why we started it a few weeks ago. So we're going to do 7 rounds of the same work. Let's go to page 2. Ooh, there's the diagram. That's what I love. Let's zoom in and take a look. So for 7 rounds we're gonna do the exact same thing, and they're just showing 2 rounds of the same thing. So this is 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what we have here is that they're all single crochet in the back loop only, and this will create like a record player kind of look. It created a layer, so that's what I was looking for this particular Afghan. I really recommend to you that you will use your stitch markers in the corners. With using single crochet like this, it's easy to misidentify where the corner is, so I want you to do that. So that's something that you can decide for yourself. Of course you're big people, and you can decide what works for you in your education. So that's what I would recommend. So what we're going to do in the corners here, it'll be single crochet, chain 1, single crochet just in the regular chain 1 space, and this one here is very hard to identify in the future, and when I was designing this I actually was struggling with that myself. So I figured if I'm struggling, you're probably gonna struggle too. So I'm gonna get you started on the first of 7 rounds, and then it's just the same thing, and then I'm gonna come back later in this tutorial and we'll do 31, 32, and 33 to finish off for this week. So if you remember, I had stitch markers. They're still there. I've been just kind of working around them, and what I'm recommending to you is that when you're ready, just kind of pull up on them and you can position them as you're gonna go. So I'll get you started on that. So let's start our first round here, and this is one of 7 rounds that we're gonna be doing, and you're just gonna simply just chain up 1. So just chain 1, and in the same space 1 single crochet. So starting in the very first one here, we're gonna go into the back loop only. So you just have to identify it. Okay, do you see it? It's the back loop right here, and then just go to the next one here. When you do these half double crochets, sometimes it's really hard to see them, and that's why I'm having you use stitch markers. So you're just going in the back loop only, just nice and simple. You're gonna do 7 rounds of this, and I'll meet you at the first corner. We'll turn the corner, but what I want to do is that I want to position those stitch markers in as I turning around, or sorry, as I turn the corner, so that I can find them in the future, because it's sometimes really difficult to see. And let's begin to do that next. Okay, so I'm getting closer to my first corner. One thing I've stopped doing in my designs, I've stopped actually using half double crochet so much. I find that I lose count on especially when it's turning corners, so I've been trying to ease up on that. So here's the last stitch. It is gonna be single crochet, and then we have a corner, so it's a chain 1. So you're gonna just do single crochet, chain 1, and 1 single crochet, and then just go in the back loop of the first half double crochet and hold it for a second. So what I want you to do here, go into the middle to the chain 1 space and grab that stitch marker. If you got rid of it, just grab it up and pull it through, and you'll see it next time. And every time you're moving up in this section, just move the stitch marker, so just let it weave in and out, and you will see it each and every time. So you're just gonna go around and do the same thing in every corner, and then you're going to get to the end of the round, and I'll see you there in just a moment, and we'll just recap, and then I'll let you do these 7 rows on your own. Okay, just finishing up the first round of these single crochets in the back loop only, and make sure that you do go into that final gapping space that you started with. Okay, so there is the last one right here, and then we're gonna go into the space. So just right into the space, and then join the first one with the single crochet join. before you move on, move that stitch marker so that you can see it again in the future. So for myself it's just behind. I moved all my stitch markers as I went. So that's one round of 7 that you'll need to do. So you'll go again. So just chain up 1, and then right where you've just marked that is the space, so it's just a single crochet, and then starting in the first one. So make sure you identify it. Okay, can you see which one it is? It's right there. Okay, so you just go in the back loop only and then continue to do what you already know. So the corners will be 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet, and the remaining all the way around are just back loop single crochet. And you'll see the layers of this developing as you go, and it may excite you at the same time. So when I come back I'll have that done for you, and then we'll continue along, and we just have 3 rounds to do after that. So turn on the TV and enjoy, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So in the next round what we're going to do, round number 31, it's just gonna be 1 double crochet in each of these stitches. In the corners what we're going to have is that it's gonna be double crochet, chain 1 double crochet. You can see that better over here. So what we're going to do at the end of the round is that we will join with the single crochet join on the top of the chain 3. So that's what we're gonna do. The next 2 rounds after that, 32 and 33, they're in the back loop posts only. You've already done that in the last week, so I'm just gonna briefly touch on that, and then I'm gonna leave that work for you. Let's begin round number 31. So by this part in the tutorial, a lot of this stuff you should already know. We're kind of just repeating what we already know. So we're gonna chain up 3, and that counts as your first double crochet in the chain 1 space. You're going to then jump to the next stitch that is available to you, and what you got to watch out for this first one here, just follow it. You see how it's going into this gap? That is the stitch right there. So don't be confused by this single crochet join. So that is your first double crochet, and you're gonna just do 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way across. So by the time you get across on this first one, there should be 57 stitches between the corners. So there will be a chain 1, and then another side will start. So what I want you to do is verify each time that you're going on each side to make sure there's 57. If you don't have 57, say that it's 58, that means that there's an extra stitch in the row below. So what I would do with this particular one is that I would just put 2 together, so just in and through, and then go to the next one and put 2 stitches together. That will reduce 1 stitch, and it's almost impossible to see. It's not impossible, but it's pretty easy way to get away with it. If you were missing a stitch at any point, so say you had you're supposed to have 57 and you only have 56 by the time you get across, just put 2 double crochets somewhere together into the same stitch, and therefore you'll get your count. So either way, there's ways to always cheat things, and I find once you get this far in the project you don't want to frog anyway. So I want you to count and verify that there's 57 stitches between each of the corners on each side, and do an adjustment if you need to, and that's what I would do. So I'll meet you at the end of this round. Remember, in the corners there will be 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. I'll see you at the end of this round. It's gonna take me a little bit because I want to verify my counts before moving on, and it's extremely important. That's why I'm going on and on about it. So I'm just coming to the very last stitch here. This was 57 of this side, and then I'm just going to join it to the top of the first chain 3 in order to complete this step. So the next 2 rounds are the final rounds for this week, and what we have here is that we've already done this last week, and what you're doing is you're creating these 2 ridges that you see. Okay, so you're gonna do 2 rounds of that. So to start that, and I'm just gonna quickly talk about it, and then I'll leave that for you because I don't really need to go into too much detail, is that we're gonna start off with the chain 2, and that counts as your first half double crochet in the corners, and then just back post double crochet, what you already know. So you're just gonna apply 1 back post double crochet in each stitch. If you have verified the counts in the last round, you don't really have to think about it too much. It's easy to see these stitches as you go. You're just gonna do that then all the way around, and then you're gonna repeat that 1 more round again, and then you'll have 2 ridges that you can see just like that. So please complete rounds number 32, 33, and then join me back here next week for week number 5. So that's it for week number 4. So week number 4, I hopefully that you've enjoyed that process. You didn't really have to think it, you know, put on your favorite Netflix and all that jazz, and you can enjoy this particular section in your particular Afghan. So I'm gonna have to get moving because I'm stitching this in real time with you, as I said right at the very beginning. So until next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Creatives with my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. We hope to see you again real soon.